Hello again. Okay, so this time to Callatis, further south than Tomis, and we will present you a very important amulet for this part of the empire and for Romania. And of course, I will not put also again the map of Romania with the two provinces, but I will. I just wanted to empathize that Tomis, Callatis, Istros, Orgame were Greek colony created here on the shore of the Black Sea. And of course, in the Greek period and in the Hellenistic period, Tomis has a small prevalence between these four. But in the late Roman, in the Roman period and late Roman period, Tomis will be the most important cities between these four. But Callatis was a very rich city. Today is unfortunately like in Tomis, as you see, Callatis is imposed by a modern city called Mangalia. But you can visit Mangalia and see the ruins of Callatis, and of course, like in Tomis, they discovers a lot of goodies, all of or most of them in the necropolis of the Greek and Roman city. And just to have an image about what it means to be a city that old, you have here all the mounds around the Callatis, and also how Callatis looked like before, let's say, the starting of this modern town, which is Mangalia. You can see that we have a lot of mounds around Callatis, and of course, in the cities we have a plain necropolis, also from the Roman and Greek city. Callatis was well published in the 80s. You have here the monography of the necropolis from Callatis by Constantin Preda. And you have here also an image with the museum of the city of Callatis, the museum from Mangalia, which you can visit if you want, of course. And among these very important finds preserved in this museum, we have also, and also published in the 80s by Constantin Preda, we have two small amulets that they have been found in the same grave. You have here the description of the grave from Constantin Preda's book, and also the original sketch of the amulets. You can see it, and the reconstruction of the entire assemblage here of this string of amulets with coral beads, and of course with mother of pearls amulets. Very important is that when you want to republish an older piece, you have to find the exact place of the discovery, which is not so easy. As you can see, our discoveries were, because we have more information than Constantin Preda, and we know now that this discovery, this grave, was very near to a Basilica Cemiterialis. You can see it here. And probably it was, as Constantin Preda stated, it was a late discovery, probably from the 3rd century. We know that because of the Basilica Cemiterialis, which Constantin Preda doesn't know it in the 80s. And again, these very important amulets, and unfortunately for us, or fortunately, because we have some very important information, but not so many as we wanted. we discussed with Monica Mărgărit, which accepted our challenge and put it under the microscope, these amulets. And we have some new information about in regard with these amulets, which are not available, of course, because of the technique in the 80s when it was first published. So we know about this phylacterium. It doesn't have a hole for something to be put on it, but we know about this phylacterium. Monica Mărgărit told us that it has a lot of damages. Damages coming from, first of all, from the fact that this material exfoliates, unfortunately for us, and it is not in such a good state of preservation, but also damages because of wearing. So we know, because of Monica Mărgărit analysis, that this kind of amulets, this one from Callatis, was worn not only for the grave, because we often ask ourselves that this kind of amulets were worn in the time of the life of the deceased, or they were only put in the grave. These kind of amulets supposedly will have been worn by the deceased for many years, because Monica Mărgărit says that and you can see here from her pictures, microscope pictures, taken under microscope, that Monica says that on a part, only on a part, the surface is very deteriorated because of wearing. Only on a part. Probably that part was the part which stays on the clothes, she says, and that's why it has been damaged much more than the other sides. And of course, because of the string, also we have damages on the upper part of the holes, probably because this quite long wearing. And of course, we have traces of how they were made, these kind of amulets. Unfortunately, because of the matter of pearl exfoliates, we don't know, for now, we don't know which kind of species have been used to make something like this, but probably for sure they are not from the Black Sea. So these kind of artifacts are coming from far away, we presume. We don't know where, because our biologists tell us that it's far too deteriorated to say which kind of species could appertain this kind of amulets. The second one is also very important. It has a lot of trace of wearing and a very important details also. As you see here, it has a hole in the bottom, in the upper part of the head for hanging. And sometimes we don't know when this hole was broken. And then they remade the hole. So a second hole was made. So we know that this kind of amulets, like the other one, were probably in the time of the life of the deceased, or maybe we don't know, but it was worn before it could get into the grave. So this is very important. They repair it, if you want it, to said something like this. Unfortunately, it's the same story like the other one. It is badly deteriorated. We don't know the species, so unfortunately, for that part of the story, I cannot tell you much more information than that. But it's important to know that the second one, both of them were in the time of the life of the deceased. They are staying on a surface probably a cloth around the neck of the child, because you can see that in the grave they were deposited on a string, probably because we have coral beads with them. And we have a lot of traces of wearing documented by Monica, of course, in the second one. And after that, we are start to look to this typology, this kind of amulets. And of course, we found, because we know that in Viminacium, the most near of us are discovered in Viminacium. And there are a lot of them. And we use also the typology made by Ilia for the discoveries in Viminacium to integrate our discovery. And you can see that this kind of amulets appear in the whole Roman Empire, and now also in Romania, in Callatis, and of course, because we have a lot of luck, we have another one in Tomis. After we started to look to this one of Callatis, we discover another one in Tomis in the same manner, but in different material. This one is from, of course, charcoal. And you can see that the one who wears something like this, it wears like this, on a string, probably, with a lot of beads. In the case of Callatis, we have coral beads. In the case of Tomis, we have amber beads. You can see we have a phylacterium also, which is very important, because we have a phylacterium in Callatis, we have a phylacterium in Tomis, but the phylacterium, as I told you yesterday, it is from glass. It is the only one until now discovered in Tomis. So probably they were exactly like the ones from Viminacium, the ones from Tomis. They could be worn around the neck of the child. We know that in Callatis we have like a small child, because the grave has like the dimension that 1 meter on 60 centimeters. So it is a very small child. So thank you for your attention.